Hi there, Elshad. So let's take a look right away at these new essays. TV and internet, is this a positive or negative development? To what extent do you support it? Let's see what you said. There has been a steady increase in chances for becoming popular easily throughout the world in recent years, especially when the internet and TV are involved. Despite celebrities do not have privacy, in my opinion, this is a positive development which can enhance people's lives and solve their financial problems. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Grammatically, there are a couple of mistakes here. The first and the most important one for me is this one. Despite requires certain grammatical structures to follow. It requires either a noun or the fact that or an ing. So you can't have a clause as you do here. What would have worked here with the way you wrote this is something like although. So let's try it again. Although several celebrities do not have privacy, in my opinion, this is a positive development which can enhance people's lives and solve their financial problems. So, what are you telling me? You're telling me that you support it, so that's fine. And that it's positive. Now, this one is a really tricky essay to answer because of the way the question is phrased. Look at this. Is it a positive or negative development? To what extent do you support it? So one could essentially say that it's asking the same question twice. It's really not. It is in fact possible to say that it's a negative development, but I support it. Or you could say it's a positive development for the people who earn money, yet I don't support it because I think it's a negative for society. Okay? So that's something you need to think about in this kind of an essay. Let's see how you developed it. And the other thing I want to talk about here is this sentence. There has been a steady increase in opportunities, works better. Opportunities to become popular easily. This is awkward for me. There are probably other more fluid ways of saying this. There has been a steady increase in opportunities to easily become popular. Okay, that's how you want to say it. It's this, which is in the wrong place. So grammatically, there's those two problems, and I'm not going to say that your thesis is wrong. I'll have to see how you develop your essay to see if, in fact, you have addressed it correctly in terms of task achievement. So, so far, there are errors grammatically. Let's take a look at what you did here, and also, yeah, grammatical errors. Let's move on. At first, it is important to know that contrary to the past, popularity brings various benefits with itself, such as becoming rich and improving living standards. This is because technological advances in this industry have made it much easier to earn more money, no comma, when you are well known with enough subscribers or followers online. Okay, all right, let's move on. Meanwhile, when an ordinary person becomes famous online, many TV shows are eager to invite such individuals to boost their ratings, and this results in the subsequent increase in the popularity. Many well-known people advertise products online for an enormous amount of money. For example, statistics show that social networks like YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram are the easiest way of gaining profit nowadays. Thus, because of their popularity, there are many fans who are subscribed to their pages, leading to an increase in their profitability. All right, so Elshad, I wanted to read the whole thing through. Grammatically, most of it is fine. In terms of vocabulary, most of it is fine. There are a couple of errors, both in terms of grammar and in terms of vocabulary, but nothing very serious. For me, the problem is twofold. The problem arises with your task achievement and with your coherence and cohesion. Let me explain to you why, first of all, for coherence and cohesion. It seems like you have scattered ideas, but they're not well linked to each other. And it seems like in terms of task achievement, it seems like you have ideas, but you haven't developed some of them. So let's try to pinpoint here what your main ideas are. Your main ideas are that technological advances have made it easy to make money when you have followers online. Okay, so this for me should have had its own support. And I think the best thing here would have been something like people on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram get followers, and then companies use these people to promote their products, giving them money, giving them free items, because of their status as influencers. Okay, so that's the first main idea, and that would cover this idea about the internet. But where is this idea about TV giving the chance for ordinary people to become famous? What I think the prompt is asking you to discuss is things like reality TV show people. So you could think about oh my goodness, there's so many. I mean, even things like The Voice or I don't know, like X Factor, or, you know, there's so many shows, or even things like the Kardashians, for example. I mean, they were ordinary people, more or less. You know, the housewives of wherever, like all these people are normal people, but they have now gained a lot of fame through the medium of television. And then that's what you could have mentioned for the second part here, because this whole thing, you said online, but that's not what they were trying to say. You covered the thing about being online, being a YouTube star, being a Facebook or Instagram star, and becoming famous. So I think what you then needed to do was look at television separately. All right, all of this would affect your task achievement. Also, like I said, it didn't make the linking of the ideas, the way you kind of put them together, also had problems for me. So we're looking at problems with your task achievement and your coherence and cohesion. Let's go on to the second paragraph. Another factor to note is that when people become famous, more opportunities arise in life, whether they are career related or not. This is due to the fact that they receive special treatment, singular, wherever they go, and this opens many doors in life which would have remained shut had fame not been achieved. What a beautiful sentence. Lovely. You've done two really nice things here. This is a lovely example of cohesion, using this here, and then you've got this great advanced grammatical structure here with this conditional statement. Okay? It's lovely. It's really nicely done. So, for instance, Conor McGregor became famous with UFC championship with Then he used this popularity to promote his new whiskey brand, Proper 12, resulting in the subsequent increase in the demand for it. As a consequence, it is certainly the case that fame generally brings a lot of fortune. Okay. On the whole, it's a nicely written paragraph. My question to you then becomes, how well did you actually address the two questions that were asked of you? Is it a positive or negative development? And to what extent do you support it? So have you really answered each of those questions? And where is this? Look at this. You wrote, celebrities do not have privacy. Where did you discuss that anywhere in your body paragraphs? You wrote it here in your introduction, which leads the reader to think that you're going to address this negative. You didn't. Okay? So, it's a problem with the development of your essay. Again, in terms of task achievement. Let's see. So let me look at your conclusion. To conclude from the points and examples given, I firmly believe that becoming famous brings many opportunities and riches more easily, adverb here, than other people. No, that doesn't make sense. I firmly believe that becoming famous brings opportunities and riches than, no, you can't say than other people. You're not comparing two like things. Okay? It is predicted that as technology develops, the number of celebrities will increase, not passive voice, active voice, and this will lead to a better life for many people. Okay, there are grammatical errors definitely in this paragraph. There are grammatical errors, some, not many, here, and then earlier on in the paragraphs I saw some. This one was really nicely written. You had that beautiful piece of grammar that I really liked, but this has a lot of little grammatical mistakes. I think that for me, the biggest problem is the task achievement. I don't really feel like you've answered this question the way you were supposed to. There were two questions. So again, is it a positive or negative development? And do you support it? You could say, yes, it's positive. Yes, I support it. You could say, it's negative. No, I don't support it. And you could say another mix. You could say, yes, it's positive, but no, I don't. It's negative. Yes, I do support it. Do you understand? So you had a lot of different options. I don't really feel like you looked at those things. I think that you indicated here that, it's a negative development, but I support it. But then you didn't develop your paragraphs like that. So it's kind of like it creates a certain amount of confusion. I hope that makes sense. Let's take a look at your task 1, because I spent really a lot of time on your task 2. Let's see what you wrote. It's the restaurant, the terrible time at the restaurant. Okay. Dear sir, madam, I am writing to complain. It's a verb, not a noun, so no T, about the service and meals that you serve at your restaurant, Harhor, which is located at 11 City Street, Cuba. Excuse me. Last Friday I had a guest from abroad and I was advised that your restaurant provides delicious and fresh meals. That is why I decided to bring my guest there and have some fun. Unfortunately, the comma goes right after the word, no space. The experience that we faced there was terrible. First of all, the customer service was very poor, no comma, because we were waiting for a waiter to approach us at least 30 minutes, comma, which made me shameful in front of my guests. Well, embarrassed would have been a better word. It seems that profit is more important than the customer experience. In addition, comma, most of the meals were out of service but included in the menu. That's not what you mean. You don't mean out of service. It's not like they were out of order or not working. What you want to say instead is that most of the meals were not available but included in the menu. I suggest that a new menu list is required, which has the full list of meals that are served. Finally, I suggest, not there, finally, I therefore suggest that I be given a full refund. This is really kind of abrupt, and you really should have added a little more. Some of these niceties that we include in these formal letters. Okay. So what do I mean? I mean that you could have said something like, because of the embarrassment I faced in front of my guests and the disappointing experience I had at your restaurant, I suggest that I be given a full refund. Details on how you may transfer me the money are included in this letter. Okay, something like that. Not such an abrupt end here, okay? Or some sort of follow-up, like I will follow up with you in the next 2 days to see how my refund can be processed. So something like that, some sort of a closing here before you just sign off. Yours faithfully is fine, but we don't put a capital here in that second word, just the first word. Yours, let's see, I think you said dear sir, madam, right? Yes, you did, dear sir, madam. So that's fine. You just need to fix that. So Elshad, I hope you found this helpful. If I had to talk about criteria here, for me, again, it would be the task achievement and some grammar as well. Those two areas are the areas that would need some work here in order to get a higher band score, like I understand that you need. The vocabulary is fine. Coherence and cohesion was fine. Just those two areas. Task achievement and grammar. Go ahead, work on them, send them back to us. Looking forward to seeing your next set of essays. Thanks.